Hello, this is Dean Phoenix with episode 13 of my 1999 mode walkthrough for Bioshock Infinite. Getting the Scavenger Hunt achievement, not buying anything from a dollar bill machine whilst completing the game on 1999 mode, which is the hardest difficulty. So this bit can be really tricky. This is where we're going to rescue Elizabeth. And this is why I said to try and keep stocked up on whatever your main weapons are, and maybe to grab a shotgun as well. I find it useful to possess the turrets when taking out the enemies, and also to electrocute them so that you've got the vigor combos going, as these shotgun guys have a ton of health. You can also possess them instead and take out the turret, so you can do it either way. So once possession's worn off on all those enemies, at some point you will need to actually hit the turrets themselves. So you see there, use return to sender. Return to sender is incredible for this bit. It's incredible for the whole game, but the main thing to remember here is that there are several salt pickups, 4 in total, that can be extremely useful. So you want to make use of possession, return to sender and charge as always. The aim of this section is to throw these 2 levers here, so there's one there, and you'll notice that there are actually salts on the way out here as well, so you grab those as you come down, and there's an identical stairway and second lever on the other side, and you want to do the same with that. There are salts there as well. So like I say, these shotgun guys are really quite strong, so you want to either get headshots or you want to hit them. Possession is really good because it distracts them and it also causes them to suicide. So there, I take over the turret and that causes the first guy to suicide. It's one of the cheapest options assault wise for taking them out. Now just be careful, because in the second wave of enemies there are a load of them all at once, and then on top of that you've got a Patriot, as you can see there. So just use charge with charge aid to keep your shield up, because it recharges the shield when you use charge with charge aid. And the Patriots are a good candidate to use your volley gun ammo on. If you find yourself running low on salts, then you can always try and come back down here for another one of the salt pickups, or to give yourself a bit of space and room. I have got blood salt as well, so you see when I kill one of those guys there, I'm able to get a bit of salt back. There is a salt pickup down these stairs. You'll see it when you very first come into this area. You'll notice that on the right hand side, after you come into the area, there are salt pickups there as well. So I actually managed to complete this just only using, I think, one of the salt pickups, so I had plenty of salt to spare. You can see that there was a pickup on the right there, and there's also one on the other corridor than the one I was in. Make sure that after you get Elizabeth back and you rescue her, you get the last infusion, and there's also a bar to pick up for a little bit of money and things like that, so make sure that you grab those as well. Now here, there's quite an extended fight sequence, so after you rescue Elizabeth and you want to make your way to the Hand of the Prophet for the last level of the game, you've got this bit, and there's quite a few Patriots, and the key to this, I find, is to basically make sure that you're using the tears, and undertow is really fantastic here. So there's a mosquito and there's a rocket automaton. So undertow is very good because it will let you bring in enemies. It'll also stun the Patriot, and there is the undertow and shock jockey vigor combination, which does a lot of damage and also temporarily stuns the Patriot as well. So every time the rocket automaton gets taken out, you can just switch to the mosquito to draw their fire and to also keep them occupied. You can use undertow to pull the enemies in, and then, like you say, you can beat them. The Patriots in particular go down really quickly with that combination. There's also a few beasts, which are the guys with the volley fire, or the volley gun, or the hail fire, and so if you can possess them, they can do a good chunk of damage to the Patriots as well. But yeah, mainly it's just using the normal tactics that we have, so stuff like possession on the normal enemies, the tears, mosquito, and the combination of brittle skinned with undertow and shock jockey for the Patriots, which is extremely effective. So after you've cleared all these guys out, you've got a couple of Patriots, like I say, you've got to take those out. You can pick up a few salts and things, and then there's a few to take out on the barge as well, and you can just pull them over with undertow and easily take them out as well. So after you've finished taking these last few guys out before you board the airship, you want to try and scavenge for as much as possible. Get your salts back up and see if you can find any weapon pickups. There's also a door here to unlock, and make sure that you have Elizabeth lockpick this. There's quite a few pickups. There's a bit more money in a safe there. There's a few lockpicks if you need them to actually unlock the safe, and there's also a box of pawn salts pickup and that machine to both possess, and if you like to buy a few upgrades from. So you can also double back. This one's the Vigor one, so here, because I had so many Silver Eagle spare, I got Sender Aid just as a bit of a bonus, but it's not really necessary. But anything you feel might be useful, or any spare money that you have to use up, you can use on either that machine, or if you backtrack, you can go to the Armory machine and get a few upgrades. Now this section can be very difficult. You need to know your resources when you're on this little airship going towards the Hand of the Prophet. So there are hooks, so you can use Winter Shield with that. There is a 100 salt pickup, and there is also on the other side of these hooks, on the next to the stanchion that the hooks are attached to, there is also a large med pack that you can use with Sheltered Life. Now I actually used to think that this bit was extremely difficult, but one of the things that makes it a lot more manageable is that jumping across to the other gunships that attack you will either let you use Winter Shield and then take out the enemies with that, or you can stick with the usual blood to salt method. But you can jump across to the actual airships themselves afterwards. Some of them you can actually attach to and jump across, and they have salts pickups as well, and that can be really useful. So your own ship won't leave without you, so you can always hop across, grab the salts or other pickups that are there, and that's very useful. You can either possess one of these things when they turn up to help you out, or you can just destroy them right away. Electrobolt makes short work of those, Shock Junkie makes short work of those, takes them out quite quickly, but they can be useful in their own right. So if you are losing health like that, don't forget that you've got possession available to you, especially for the beasts, and you can also either use the health packs that can be found. You see I've got a health pack there, and this is the advantage of jumping across. You get a health pack and a salt pick up there, but you can also use Vampire Embrace instead of Overkill, which is the boots that give you health for melee kills. So if you're using the Blood to Salt setup with Blood to Salt and Vampire Embrace, you can get a lot of the melee kills and get your health back that way, and that's very useful too if you don't want to go the sort of Winter Shield route. If you are going the Winter Shield route, then make sure that you are jumping across to the other sort of barges and making sure that you grab all of the salt pickups and things. Again, you can just take people out with Blood to Salt. You can also, if you want, you can just knock them right off the barges with undertow, the primary fire instead of the secondary, which means that you don't get the pickups from them, but it is extremely useful anyway, and that's something to bear in mind as well. So the undertow primary can be very useful. So again, you see here, I'm just about to lose a ton of health taking on that guy, so you can just charge him. Then there are salts to pick up, and you can possess him and kill even the beasts in one go when they suicide, and your own barge won't leave without you. So jumping across and grabbing the salts pick up from each one makes it a lot easier, and also lets you use Return to Sender. Now you can very easily get overwhelmed as well if you are struggling a little bit with this section. So you can see here it gets towards the end, and I actually get hit, and so my shield goes down, and then I get Return to Sender up, which is what you should do, and then you can see that my shield goes down again because these guys jump across with shotguns, and this being 1999 mode, you can't get cocky like I do here. You really got to keep your shield up, and as you see, as soon as I lose the invincibility from the charge aid, I almost get killed because there's two guys at once, so always a good idea to just possess one of those as well at the same time. Always keep return to sender up. If there are a ton of them about, you might not even want to use charge for that. So then you get to the Hand of the Prophet. The first level's pretty easy, relatively. There are quite a few guys about, but it's just, you know, and there's about 3 or 4 turrets as well at all the different corners. But it's pretty much business as usual. You can just possess the turrets or the enemies, whichever you find more useful. If your shield goes down, just use return to sender. If you want to kill the actual turrets themselves, then use of shock jockey beforehand is a really good idea. There is a 100 salt pickup, so after you clear all these people out, try and leave the 100 salt pickup there and go back and scavenge for it, because it's very easy to come back down to this deck and quickly grab that 100 salt, and the next deck up, the second deck, is a lot more difficult than that first deck. So when you come up to the second deck, there will be a few enemies to take out, and again there are some key things to bear in mind for this combat. So you can use Rising Bloodlust if you want, which is the really good hack you got in Comstock House, but there is also this medical kit tear, and that can be very useful because I believe it's the only easily accessible source of health here. Before you start the combat, before you press the button to clear the skylines, make sure that you have Elizabeth lockpick unlock both of these doors. So there's a room at the back here that has a gear in it and quite a few 25 salt pickups. So make sure that this door's open. This can save you in a fight, and you can use Winter Shield here, or you can use Blood to Salt. So again, either of those, whichever style you prefer. Winter Shield is probably the safest. You can just keep jumping on and off the skyline, makes all of this bit really easy. And then that's the other door that you want Elizabeth to lockpick before you press to clear the skyline, because once that happens, you'll be in combat and Elizabeth won't be able to open those doors. So there are gun automatons here, and there are the medical kit tear, as we were saying, and this can be really tricky combat because there's a lot of strong enemies come here, including a few beasts, so we're going to use the same tactics as always. So for me, that's Undertow, sometimes with shock jockey, possessing the beasts and sniping some of the enemies from distance, although I actually do a terrible job of hitting them there. And then you've got Winter Shield and these this skyline going all the way around, which will let you skyline strike a lot of them. And because these are the Vox soldiers, they've also often got repeaters, although a couple of them carry normal shotguns as well, so you can use those as your close range weapon and not have to rely too much on the volley gun, because there isn't any volley gun ammo around. Now, one of these rooms that you unlocked has 25 salts in here, which can be helpful in a pinch, and also has that big bag of money that you probably saw, and a chain gun if you want to grab the chain gun. The Patriots will follow you in here as well, so just be mindful of that. But there is a 50 salt pickup towards the back as well, so when you get low, try and pop a return to sender shield to protect you, and then run and grab the salts, and then that'll give you time to get back outside, or if you have enough salts, then you can take on the Patriots themselves. It's also a good idea to chuck some shock jockey traps around the gun automaton tears, and then you can pull the Patriot into that, immobilise them with Undertow, shock them with shock jockey, or pull them into the traps afterwards, and they'll take increased damage, and the automaton will also sort them out, and you can take them out with shock jockey as well. So the Patriots go down fairly quickly if you do that, and you've always got Winter Shield if you want to just jump on and off the skyline. You can always skyline strike them with something like Electric Punch or Burning Halo if you wanted as well. So then stock up on everything before you come up to the third deck. The third deck has a handyman that you can trigger pretty much straight away. Just a quick note, this is a good place to get the Heartbreaker achievement for killing a handyman by only shooting him in the heart, if you want to try that. This is a pretty decent place to do it. I'm not going to show all the combat here because it's pretty much just the same as the combat through the rest of the game. Just a quick thing, you can do Handyman Nemesis, the Headmaster Pants, and then you can hold them in place with the secondary fire from the Undertow, the secondary use of Undertow. So pull them in, immobilise them, and shoot them in the heart a few times, and then you can always just restart the checkpoint because it'll put you back here, which I'm going to show in a minute. So you kill the handyman. There is a load of volley gun ammo and tons of salts about here, and this also has a skyline in this area, so you can always just use Winter Shield and be invincible. So after you've cleared out this room and the handyman, that is going to be the end of the regular levels. We've got you go to see Comstock, meet Comstock, and then you've got the command deck, which I will be featuring as the last episode. So yeah, when you go forward to that point, you trigger the handyman. Normally if you're just taking them out without trying to get the Heartbreaker achievement, you can just jump on the skyline and then just kill them with that. But like I say, if you want to try and get Heartbreaker, you can do it by shooting them a bunch of times and trying to kill them like that, and then restarting the checkpoint. Okay, so that was Bioshock Infinite for the Hand of the Prophet, and I will pick it up next time. Please like, comment and subscribe if you've enjoyed the walkthrough or the episode, and I will see you for the command deck next time. Thank you for watching.